More and more public safety departments are relying on eyes in the sky like this to help on the job.
It truly is a game changer for law enforcement.
This is one of 4 drones used by the Chaska Police Department. This summer, it's been deployed in everything from missing person cases to river rescues to training. And Monday morning, it was used here to help combat this house fire off Herring Lane. Officer Hunter Panning was operating the controls. The drones can fly up to 400 feet above a scene. In this case, you can see it hovering above as firefighters saw an opening in the roof. Thankfully, the residents made it out safely with no injuries. And in the meantime, the infrared capabilities on the drone revealed where the hot spots were in real time.
It showed the fire commander where there were still heat emanating from the house, so he could tell his crews where to direct their firefighting efforts.
Drones like this cost about $15,000 and are equipped with tools like spotlights and a one-way speaker for communication. Officer Panning says more and more law enforcement departments across the country are starting to rely on this technology, and they're continually finding new ways to use it.
It provides us time and distance in any type of situation to slowly think about, be methodical about how we're going to handle something.
The Chaska Police Department just launched its drone program in April. Since then, it's already been used more than 50 times.
Andy Cordan has been following this investigation for weeks and joins us with information you will only see here on News 2. Andy?
Hey there, Mark. You know, this is Calvin Lewis, who left the Department of Correction after some 17-year career where he reached the rank of captain. Now, he was also hired at the Dixon County Jail in June of last year in what looked like a promising career. This is arrest video from August 22nd at the Humphreys County home of Calvin Lewis. After a 5-month internal affairs and TBI investigation, the veteran corrections officer is charged with 3 counts of sexual contact with inmates. Is it fair to say the minute you found something might be wrong, you got right on top of it?
Yeah, absolutely. I am very comfortable and confident that as soon as that disclosure was made, the wheels started turning.
According to Sheriff Tim Eads, the 41-year-old came to the Dixon County Jail with more than 16 years of DOC experience. Where state officials tell News 2, he was a captain at the Turney Center housing male inmates.
He came here, he kind of got on the fast track. He was really good at his job.
In 5 short months, the 41-year-old was promoted twice to jail security sergeant. Then in March of this year, allegations surfaced from a female inmate that Lewis is allegedly trading favors for sex.
He denied the entire event took place, but the county invested heavily the last few years in upgraded video, so there was a lot of video evidence that was able to be collaborated.
Eads will suspend Lewis the day of the allegations. A month later, he'll fire the veteran corrections officer.
He had been with us maybe 6 months, was very qualified, and I'm disappointed that he made some very bad decisions.
Then on August 22nd, after being indicted, Dixon County deputies will bring Calvin Lewis back to the very jail that he once helped supervise. Is it hard arresting one of your own?
It can be, but these are serious charges. We have a code of ethics, a code of conduct. You can't do that. It's highly inappropriate, and it is a crime.
And Calvin Lewis is charged with 3 counts of sexual contact with inmates. He's out of jail currently on a $25,000 bond.
Good morning, and welcome to the Bad Apple Report. It's 7:30 a.m., bright and early right here at home on the range. Thank you so much for being here today, folks. I really appreciate it. We're going to start our day out in Seminole County. I think it's in Florida there, unless there's a Seminole County, Wisconsin I don't know about. But look, we have 2 arrested after Seminole County deputy's gun was taken from a gas station bathroom, the investigators say. We have a knucklehead cop. He's in the crapper. Okay, Seminole County Sheriff's Office arrested 2 people after a deputy reported an agency-issued firearm was stolen. Investigators said it happened Thursday around 5:30 p.m. at an Oviedo racetrack gas station. According to an arrest affidavit, the deputy said he arrived at the racetrack to use the bathroom. The affidavit stated that the deputy took his vest and gun belt and placed the vest on the ground and the gun belt over the handicap railing while he was on his phone. I bet he was watching the Bad Apple Report, you guys. Okay, the deputy told investigators after leaving the gas station to respond to a service call, he realized his gun was missing from his belt. Oh, no! Oh, that's so funny. The affidavit stated the deputy returned to the gas station to check the bathroom for the handgun, but didn't find it. Oh, I bet he needed to poop again right then. The deputy told investigators he assumed someone in the next stall possibly reached under the stall and removed his firearm from his gun belt. Whoa. You got like a wide stance there, deputy. You're doing a little footsie under the... Okay. Video surveillance from the gas station showed two people, later identified by investigators as Chance Byron and Damari Dennis, pull up on the gas pumps after the deputy has left the gas station. Ooh, detectives said the video showed Byron walking out of the bathroom with a noticeable bulge on his right side waist and his right arm pressed against his side. The affidavit stated both men got back into a car belonging to Byron at the gas station. Deputies later arrested them at their homes. Oh, man. Okay, what's going on here? Investigators said Byron, 26, and Dennis, 23, confessed to seeing the deputy's gun inside the stall. What are you going to do? Okay, according to Dennis's statement to deputies, he denied picking the gun up from the stall since he was on probation. According to Byron's statement to deputies, he claimed Dennis pointed out the firearm to him, which at the time he stated was sticking out of the toilet paper roll. The deputy said that Byron also stated that Dennis picked up the gun first. Okay, according to the affidavit, both men said they did not call law enforcement to inform them about the gun inside the bathroom. Chance Byron and Damari Dennis were arrested and faced charges that include grand theft of a firearm, failure to report lost or abandoned property, and dealing in stolen property. Aw, how about more about Deputy Dum Dum, okay? Seminole County, Florida deputy is a goofball, and he left his gun and the crapper. All right, on with the show.
Lawsuit accuses the mayor of Cranston of taking ownership of a car without paying for it.
Yeah, the mayor calls it a political hit job days before a contentious election. The I-Team's Brian Crandall is here with the allegations and the response. Hey there, Brian.
Well, Barbara and Emily, Mayor Ken Hopkins acknowledges he has not paid for this car and doesn't have the paperwork for it, though he's now had the car for 3 years. He claims instead there was a handshake deal and that the owner has since refused multiple times to accept his payment. A long-running dispute over a 1975 MG convertible involving Cranston Mayor Ken Hopkins now becoming public little more than a week before a contentious primary. Cranston property owner David Broccoli is now suing Hopkins, claiming the mayor asked to meet about the car at this lot in the summer of 2021 and took it without paying. The lawsuit includes a picture of the car in Hopkins' garage with a city plate on it and with Hopkins at a body shop with the car. Broccoli claims Hopkins took the car without discussing a price or payment, then demanded the title and ownership paperwork and said he would take legal action if he didn't get it. Broccoli's lawsuit also names the city and other city officials as defendants. Hopkins' team declined an interview, but in a statement, Hopkins questions why the lawsuit was filed now and why Broccoli never reported the car missing to police if there was a problem. Hopkins' campaign spokesman Robert Murray told me Hopkins agreed to buy the car for $1,200. Hopkins claims Broccoli has refused his repeated attempts to pay him since then and obtain a bill of sale. Broccoli told me over the phone that's the furthest thing from the truth. Hopkins has since had the car restored. Hopkins calls the timing of the lawsuit more than coincidental, an ambush 10 days before an election over an issue that's been ongoing for 3 years. Broccoli told me the lawsuit has nothing to do with the election. Broccoli also claims in his lawsuit Hopkins has harassed him and cracked down on his properties in the city after he took the car. Hopkins claims Broccoli was looking for special favors from the mayor over delinquent taxes and that the lawsuit is payback for not getting those favors. Asked by NBC 10 if Hopkins took the car in exchange for special treatment for Broccoli, campaign spokesman Murray replied, absolutely not. And the Cranston City Treasurer's Office tells me Broccoli never got a break on late taxes. Hopkins' campaign spokesman believes the lawsuit came in coordination with his Republican primary opponent, Barbara Ann Fenton Fung. When I asked Fenton Fung for a response, she texted, quote, "This is the Ken Hopkins mantra. Nothing is ever his fault." And, quote, "If these allegations are true, he won't be in public office much longer." Again, the primary, little more than a week away. I'm Brian Crandall, NBC 10 News.
It's also important to be able to note that marijuana is still illegal in North Carolina, but stores can sell certain amounts of hemp.
As the debate over legalizing the drug heats up in the Tar Heel state, it's calling another policy into question. Is the smell of marijuana enough to force for police to search a car? A petition recently filed to the state Supreme Court says otherwise. Our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes, joins us now. So, Khalif, what exactly is this petition challenging?
It's our fundamental constitutional right. So let's start there. Fourth Amendment, you are protected from unlawful searches and seizures. And so if ever you are stopped or someone is attempting to stop you, they're going to need a warrant to do that, unless there's a couple of things that can happen, specifically unless their officer has probable cause to stop you. So that is exactly what's happening here. In this case, the officer said that he smelled marijuana, and additionally, he smelled marijuana and some type of scent that was covering the smell of marijuana. The individual was convicted for carrying a firearm by a felon and also having marijuana in the vehicle. And then they've appealed it. The Court of Appeals said that, yes, they noted that the smell was enough for probable cause. And the court also noted that the secondary scent was something that the court took into consideration for the probable cause, something that was never seen before. So this case is now being challenged to the Supreme Court to see if that is enough on a couple of grounds. Specifically, hemp being legal since 2015 smells exactly the same as marijuana. So with the nose, now has the law kind of got bypassed since they passed this marijuana hemp legalization in 2015. Smell before has always been something that's been listed, but now if it smells the same as something else that's legal, how can you now be found probable cause for that? That is what the problem is. That's the crux of the case.
Could be a skunk in your car for all.
It could be something else, or it could be something legal. And so if you're doing something legal, now the officers don't have a legal right to stop you. They don't have a legal right to search you. And so relying on the scent only of marijuana is problematic. Relying on the scent only in accompanied with a scent cover is also problematic, and that's what this complaint is saying.
Okay, so I have to ask you, so this petition says that the ruling gives police kind of a workaround, allowing them to execute a warrantless traffic search. So talk to us exactly about what that means so people can really understand what that workaround is.
Again, if you don't have a search warrant, and I used to issue search warrants as a chief magistrate, an officer would come to me and they would identify the probable cause which they believe would be a reason that they needed to search you, and I would grant them, and then they would go and search you. But in every other circumstance, when they don't have a search warrant, they have to have probable cause to stop you. And so what this case and what this petition is saying is that you don't have a search warrant and you don't have probable cause, but now you're finding a way to go around that by saying, I don't really smell marijuana, but even if I don't smell marijuana, I smell a high smell of perfume or cologne that's attempting to mask the marijuana smell. So now that's giving me enough for probable cause. And if I can quickly help folks understand the standard, because probable cause is established, it is that you can point to facts or circumstances that a reasonable person will believe that a crime has occurred or that that person has committed the crime. So that's pretty clear. Saying that I smell like a lot of cologne is not enough.
Makes you wonder if it could have further reaching impacts that I wish we could get into today.
Yeah, I know. I mean, this is a long conversation.
As usual,
but we're out of time. But yeah.
Well, perhaps this judge thought this cop had noble intentions. Either way, it does highlight the fact that all cops have access to whatever information they want at any time they want it, and they also rarely face justice, even when they're caught in the act.
In connection with the deadly Seminole County carjacking case won't face any jail time. Court records show Francisco Estrella agreed to a plea deal, and the judge signed it last week. Investigators claimed Estrella used a fake name and impersonated a high-ranking deputy to get information about the carjacking from the Seminole County Sheriff's Office to send it to the victim's family. Now, in exchange for a guilty plea to a misdemeanor charge, Estrella will be on probation for the next year. Court records show prosecutors dropped the 3 felony charges in this.
Yeah, 3 felony charges are out. So little slap on the wrist for that guy. And just remember, your information is their information.
DeSoto police say an officer shot and killed a man who was armed with a handgun and was holding a small child. Good evening, I'm Blake Hansen. Police say they were called to a neighborhood around 4 a.m. after they say the armed suspect with the child and 2 women started knocking on doors and walking through yards. Police say when they got there, the man threatened officers and refused to put down the child. Witnesses told us the child might have been as young as about 1 year old. Fox 4's Peyton Yeager spoke with neighbors in the area about what they saw. Peyton.
Blake, and neighbors tell me they were concerned because these people were carrying large backpacks and also a small child, and they tell me they appeared to be in a frantic state. And it's still unclear from neighbors and also investigators why that man, the two women, and the child, what they were doing, what they were intending to do early this morning in that DeSoto neighborhood.
There were two women and a baby and a man, male, Hispanic in the back. They said that they needed help, they needed a ride or an Uber, and that was it. They were thirsty, and so we did give them some bottled water.
A knock on the back door startled Rayshawn Tanner and her husband early Sunday morning in their quiet DeSoto neighborhood near Northampton Road and East Pleasant Run. Tanner tells Fox 4 the adults were panicking and the child, maybe around 1 year old, only had a diaper on.
Maybe out of sorts, I would say. But, you know, that time of the morning, nothing good is going on at that time of the morning. So
Tanner's husband escorted the group off the property and immediately called 911. DeSoto police responded to Greenbrier Drive after multiple people reported the group was knocking on random doors and trespassing through front and backyards. Tanner didn't have any surveillance video, but her neighbor did. A woman rang the doorbell around 3:30 a.m. Fox 4 blurred her face because at this time the woman isn't facing any charges. This homeowner didn't answer the door, noticing the woman was carrying 2 full backpacks and a water bottle. Police say when they arrived, the man threatened to shoot officers with a handgun while holding the child. The group then took off into a nearby creek.
I have a temporary fence back there, and he had knocked it down.
And cut through Jerry Hall's backyard off Springbrook Drive.
I could hear somebody over in this driveway, and they were cursing and, you know, that kind of thing. So I knew they were having some kind of a confrontation, but I didn't know what it was.
Hall says a few minutes later, he heard one shot. He took these photos of the crime scene surrounding his home. DeSoto police say they tried to talk to the man who was still holding the gun and the child. According to investigators, the man wouldn't drop the weapon or let the child go and remained uncooperative. One officer opened fire. The male suspect died on scene. The child was handed over to family, according to police.
I've lived here for 30 years. I've never had any problems at all. I don't like it in my neighborhood at all.
Blake, again, the child was handed over to family members, but we are unaware if the child was injured. Now, DeSoto police, they tell me that they are still working to identify the man who was fatally shot. The two women were taken into questioning by police, but did not provide authorities the man's name or any type of identification. And it's still unclear if those two women are in police custody. We still do not know the relationship between the man, the two women, and whose child that was. DeSoto police tell me they will release more information once they have that man identified. Blake?
Yeah, a lot of questions still. Peyton, thanks.
All right, we're going to call it a show. But we got one more little clip to show you guys. And, you know, it's because we have had a lot of fun with these really famous bad apples here at the Bad Apple Report. I mean, these guys are really making the rounds. They're on all the big YouTube channels, and some have even made the national news, of course, like the Pot of Water cop and the Every Cop from Potawatomi. No, but really, all these famous bad apples, well, there's these little average everyday in every town bad apples that don't get enough credit. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to feature this goofball right here, and he's the last bad apple of the day. You folks are awesome, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. bright and early. Thanks for watching, folks.
Yeah. That's recorded. That's fine. See? You're allowed to feel that way. That doesn't change the fact. You can't. Hold on. Let me get it off of you.
All right, just let him get the cuss off of you.
Now, you cannot park in a fire lane.
I didn't park. I just.
Okay.
I was halfway.
I was halfway. Okay. But when I said okay.
I said,
all right. You don't let me talk or not.
Let me go get my milk quick.
So, but I said no. You need to.
It's over with. It's over with. So just get your
the
stuff.
tickets will be mailed.
Everything.
The tickets will be mailed.
Everything. It's just for injustice, man.
Okay, that's fine. The tickets will. You want your ID back? You need your driver's license.
Where did you put it? Where did you get it?
Do you want your driver's?
Where did you get it? I didn't give you my ID. I didn't give you my ID. I didn't give you my ID.
Get his card. Get his card and his badge number.
What's the badge number?
715. D715.
You got to give us your card too, sorry.
I have to get
You
one.
got to have your card on you all the time. You don't.
Do not.
Because when I ask for it, you got to give it.
I can present you the ID, but I don't have to give you a business card. But I don't have one. Yeah, I'll present it. Not a problem.
Thank you. Because you know you work for us, right?
Yes.
Right. So you're the protective service.
Correct.
That's police brutality.
All right. So don't violate us out here.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I seen everything.
Okay, that's fine.
I live right
You
now.
was true. You was unruly.
Yeah.
And how you manhandle him?
You're allowed to believe what you want.
It's all on camera.
Okay.
I ain't gonna post it to go live or nothing like that. But you wrong for that.
There's that. 715 badge number 715.
Okay.
You guys have a good day.